Alright, so today Konami is releasing a special new set called Yugi's Legendary Decks, and there are actually 3 new cards in this, as well as a crapload of reprints. It's basically all just cards that Yugi used throughout the 5 series of Yu-Gi-Oh! That had him. So, like the 5 series before GX. And so they will be selling this for $30, and surprisingly, I think it might be an okay purchase at $30. Obviously, it's like a collector thing, and it's basically to get just because it's cool. But there are quite a few good cards in here. Still, unless you are into the collector value, I would probably recommend just buying the cards you want from it as singles. So to start off, I'm going to be going over the 3 new cards, and then after that, I'll highlight a few of the reprints that we are getting in here. So the first one is Electromagnetic Turtle, and this is one that people have been waiting for a long time. This is actually a good monster that has seen play in the OCG, though it might be too late for it to be played in the TCG. The main thing that this was played in was actually Shadal's, but they don't have Construct anymore. So the effect is, during your opponent's battle phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and the battle phase. This is a quick effect, and you can only use it once per duel. So basically, it's more powerful Necro Gardener, because instead of stopping just one attack, it stops the entire battle phase. Also, it being level 4 light is pretty useful. Being machine is also somewhat notable because that means it gets all the machine support. Obviously, you can only play one of these in the deck, really, and have it be effective. So you only really need to pick up 1 copy of this, but I probably would pick up the 1 copy just in case you need it in something. At some point, it'll probably come up. The other 2 cards are not quite as good, but they're interesting spellcaster support. So they're both traps. The first one is Dark Renewal. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can target one of those monsters. So the only one if they summon one, but if the pendulum summoning, you have to only target one of them. And then you target 1 spellcaster monster you control, send both of those to the graveyard, and then you special summon 1 dark spellcaster type monster from your deck or graveyard. So, decent summon response. It's obviously really bad in the current format because targeting removal just does not work. But during some formats, it'll probably be a good option in a spellcaster-based deck. Yeah, you don't want to play cards right now that target stuff, so that unfortunately means that this card cannot really be played right now. The next one is Black Illusion. Till the end of this turn, all dark spellcaster type monsters with 2,000 or more attack you currently control cannot be destroyed by battle. Their effects are negated. Also, they are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So this is actually pretty good, I think. It's obviously best used with Dark Magician because it's a vanilla, so that means there aren't any effects to negate. So it's basically protecting it for free from battle and also from your opponent's card effects. Additionally, this can also be good on monsters where they get the effect on your turn, and you don't really need them to have effects on your opponent's turn. So you can just save it for your next turn. Of course, this is obviously very specific in terms of a card. It's only good in dark spellcaster type decks where you're playing a lot of those, and there aren't really any of that I can think of at the moment. Considering the spellcaster stuff, which would be perform mages, are like everything besides dark. There's light, fire, and earth. Those are the only ones I can think of. And then spellbooks is the other one that will probably see some play, and that's the main monster, and that is water, the blue boy. I think High Priestess is light, which also doesn't work. So until Dark Magician gets all of its support, I don't really think there's anything you can use this in. So that's it for the new cards, and now I'll be covering a few of the reprints. So they are reprinting BLS as a common, which this is going to make the first time it's easy to get BLS pretty much, because the cheapest printing of it currently is a super rare, which is going for about $7 plus. So the common will be cheaper than that most likely. It's at like $3 right now on TCG Player. So I mean, a common BLS would look ugly, to be honest, but it's a really easy way to get it if you don't have it yet. Next, they're going to be printing all 5 of the Exodia pieces in ultra rare. So this is going to be a really easy way to get all of them and have them be shiny if you need to do that. So I think that's worth pointing out, considering it isn't exactly super cheap to get all of these in holo, even though they've been reprinted so many times. The next one, they are reprinting Spell-Shattering Arrow as a common, and this is obviously a good card currently against Pendulum stuff, though you will usually have better options available to you depending on your deck. You could play either Fairy Wind or Wavering Eyes, but this is still a good card. It's useful to have if you don't have it yet. Next, we will be getting another reprint of Polymerization in this. So, surprisingly, Polymerization is still really expensive, even with how many times it's been reprinted. But this set, if you get it, it comes with 3 common Polymerizations. So, if you need Polymerizations, this is definitely helpful for that. And similar to that, Mirror Force is being reprinted as a common in this, and it's going to have 3 common. You're going to get 3 copies in this. So this is another card that's been reprinted a lot, but is still somewhat expensive. So this is a great way to get that if you need it. Unfortunately for Mirror Force, though, it is now completely outclassed by Storming Mirror Force, which is like $50. So that's just too bad for that. And now I saved the best for last. So if you stuck around, there's two really awesome cards in here. Like, I'm super psyched. So the first one, we are finally getting this art of Dark Magician, and it's going to be an ultra rare. I mean, this is my favorite art of Dark Magician. It's the evil Dark Magician art that Arkana played when he dueled against Yugi, and I just love how this looks. So that's super awesome that we are finally getting that in the TCG, because the OCG has had that for a really long time. I have one of these in Japanese that I've had since I was a little kid. And then the next one, we are getting Dark Magician of Chaos with the Errata. So, 2 things on this. One, I don't like the Errata. It was totally unnecessary. The card was not good enough to be banned with the old text. But at the same time, us getting the Errata almost guarantees that this card will be unbanned on the next list. So I am super psyched for that because I really want to play Dark Magician of Chaos. Also, of note, this is by far the easiest way to get a holo Dark Magician of Chaos. It's kind of expensive to get any Dark Magician of Chaos of any rarity, but to get holos, it's like $10 plus. And this is going to be cheaper than that. It was like $3 when I checked. So if you need holo Dark Magician of Chaos, this is definitely the way to go. And this card looks great in ultra rare. So I'm super psyched to play Dark Magician of Chaos. Even if it's not good, I'm going to play a deck with that in it as soon as it is unbanned, because I just love this card. It's one of my favorites. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to check out some other stuff.